Hey yo guys, what's up? It's me once again. I'm back at it. Been wanting to do this video. I had alluded to doing since my last video, which was my WrestleMania review a week ago. This is one talk about Bray Wyatt. A lot of things I definitely want to talk about, but I don't want to make this video really long because I can talk about this for like up to a half hour. So I'll try to keep it short and simple. But point is, basically the topic of this video really is Bray Wyatt damaged goods? Personally, in my opinion, I think he is. I think Bray Wyatt is still a valuable superstar. I think Bray Wyatt is still an interesting and intriguing character. But if you say right now who are the top 5 guys in WWE in terms of main eventers, top 5, you're gonna say Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and even though he's a part-timer, John Cena. Hell, you can even throw in Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman is appearing to be more of a viable main event star than Bray Wyatt is. And to me, I think that is just really, really sad. I'm a fan of Braun Strowman. No knock against him. But I'm just talking about for Bray to be perceived as not one of the top 5 guys if you were to talk about in WWE. I think that's really, really sad. Bray Wyatt, to me, is one of those guys. His character is so different and unique that I think it's a shame that WWE have not tapped into his full potential or really go all the way with Bray Wyatt. If you go back all the way to the times since the Wyatt family, WWE has this thing where they stop and go pushes with the Wyatt family and Bray, and it doesn't really work. You go back, they had the feud with Kane. You had Luke Harper and Eric Rowan had multiple excellent tag team matches against the Usos, but they never won the tag team titles. Every title match that they had against the Usos, they lost. Never made any sense to me whatsoever. Then you had Bray Wyatt going up against Daniel Bryan. Interesting feud. It was good. To me, the best feud that the Wyatt family have had was their feud against the Shield. I think that was their best feud that they've had. Other than that, these guys, they can't cut a break. But I'm gonna talk about Bray in particular because I don't want to get all over the place. Where did it all really go wrong with Bray Wyatt? I know a lot of people go back to say that WrestleMania his match against John Cena at WrestleMania 30, I believe. That was really the beginning of the end for the Bray Wyatt, and hell, you can even say the whole Wyatt family faction. I don't know if I can really say that. I enjoyed their feud. I thought they had a really good match at WrestleMania. But my opinion, when I did a review of that year's WrestleMania, I think it was WrestleMania, was it 29 or 30? When I did my review of that WrestleMania, my opinion still stands. I didn't have a problem with John Cena winning. For the most part, guys that come in their first WrestleMania match, they normally don't win. I'm not saying that, in certain cases that it may be needed, but I felt, at that time where Bray Wyatt was going, where he was at, I personally didn't feel like Bray Wyatt needed to win at WrestleMania. It would have been tremendous if he did, but I didn't feel like it was needed for him to win at that year's WrestleMania against John Cena. I know a lot of people may disagree with me on that, but that's just my opinion on that. You fast forward after that, and Bray Wyatt he goes from hot to lukewarm. There's always this is the problem I have with WWE when it comes to Bray Wyatt in particular. They give him these stop and go pushes where they have him. They give him these feuds where they're trying to build him to be a viable threat to the bigger star, whether it be John Cena, Undertaker, or Randy Orton. They give him these small little feuds to kind of, build him up and raise his stock, raise his value to be a viable threat. Once Bray Wyatt is deemed to be a viable threat, they throw him against the bigger stars like Cena, Undertaker, Orton. That's fine. Problem with it is he always loses. When it counts and when it matters, Bray Wyatt loses the bigger fights. And that is the biggest problem with WWE's handling and booking of Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt wins the battle but he never wins the war. And coming out winning the wars ends up being a lot more rewarding and beneficial for booking a superstar and getting him to that next level than it is having him win small, minor battles. Winning the battles are important, but winning that war is even more important. And I think that, Bray Wyatt losing to John Cena, which again, like I said, my opinion still stands on that. But after that, he loses to Undertaker, which I thought he shouldn't have. I thought he had a good match with Undertaker at Mania 31. And then losing to, Randy this past WrestleMania. And then the WrestleMania before that, it really wasn't quite like a match, but kind of got buried by The Rock and John Cena. The whole Wyatt family got buried by Rock and John Cena. But the point is that he's lost 3 WrestleManias in a row in or 4 if you want to count the Rock Cena match. But he lost 3 major feuds at WrestleMania back to back. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's becoming a joke amongst wrestling fans on the internet. They say that, hey, Bray Wyatt is the reverse Undertaker, 0-3 at WrestleMania. It's funny, but when you kind of look at that, when you kind of think about it realistically, it's quite sad. And I think for a guy that is so unique and different in terms of a personality and a gimmick that's different from a lot of wrestlers on the roster, that's sad. To me, Bray Wyatt has always reminded me of when he first came in from NXT, when he was repackaged in the Wyatt character and was catching on fire. He always reminded me a mix of Mankind and like Undertaker from the Ministry of Darkness days, a fusion of those two. But I definitely saw him being as like that next type of Undertaker. Now there will never be another Undertaker, and I'm not saying book Bray Wyatt like the next Undertaker, but that character that's a little bit offbeat, that's a little bit different, a character that really plays to, the dark side and being, like I said, a little bit offbeat and different than the rest of your talent on the roster. I think that's special, and I think that's different. We haven't had anybody like that since The Undertaker, and I thought Bray Wyatt fit the bill if WWE booked him right. It's been 5 years now and they still haven't done it. Undertaker is now retired. By now, if they would have booked him properly, with Undertaker being now gone, I would say, Bray Wyatt, you can easily insert into that spot. But no, they have him lose continuously when it counts and when it matters. I personally enjoyed the feud between him and Randy Orton. I thought the build to it was great. However, I thought that the foregone conclusion of their feud, or the outcome of it, didn't really pay off and didn't work in Bray's favor. I've said it in multiple videos. Hell, I said it in my WrestleMania video, and I will continue to say it again. I believe it was politics. I think Randy Orton was guaranteed the WWE title at WrestleMania if he took the loss and bleed out like a pig for Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam the previous year. I'm a firm believer in that. And I think it's apparent that, it happened. He won the Rumble. He won the title at Mania. Randy Orton is set. So I think that was the plan from day one. Unfortunately, Bray Wyatt had to be the sacrificial lamb / pawn, but it is what it is. So much so, I'm hearing on from 434 that they get from Dave Meltzer that Bray Wyatt is starting to become a little bit more outspoken, and he is frustrated with WWE creative because they had him to believe that, one, he was going to successfully defend his WWE title at WrestleMania, and 2, he would have a long program or feud with Randy Orton. Well, neither of those things happened. I mean, hell, they just I just heard that they just they called off the match between Bray and Randy at Payback. Honestly, I don't know why they even advertised that, within the first two weeks after the whole Raw shakeup thing, because Bray's now on Raw, Randy's on SmackDown. Kind of defeats the purpose of the brand split if you have both of these guys defending the SmackDown title on a Raw pay-per-view. Yes, even though Bray is entitled to a rematch, but it is still stupid. Same reason for Kevin Owens being entitled to a Universal title match, but they just put him on SmackDown. So now it's just kind of like null and void. Again, stupid reasons. They don't think about these things when they swap these guys over to different brands. But I think Bray Wyatt has every right to be not offended, but angry or frustrated with the booking. I remember a couple of years ago, he was on a radio show. I forgot whose radio show he was on, but he did say that he doesn't think that WWE creative, that they really truly understand his character and where it comes from. And I do think that. I think they don't really have an idea as to the Bray Wyatt character or gimmick and who he is, which I think is really, really, really sad. Instead of Bray Wyatt being a top A player, main eventer, he's now kind of perceived as a B plus player or a C plus player. Bray Wyatt is kind of perceived as being a guy to be like a transitional champion, someone that you don't really consider to be a major feud, a summer feud, a 2 or 3 month feud. And when you look at it from that perspective, and you look at Bray Wyatt, and it's like, man, that really sucks, because he should really be one of the top 5 guys within the overall company. He should be one of the top 2, top 3 heels of the overall company. And, they have this problem, this thing with Bray Wyatt, this consistent booking. Like I said, I'm going to say it again. They give him these small, minor feuds. They build him up just so that he can become be a viable threat. He does all this talking where he's like, I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to drag you to hell. I'm going to destroy you. I'm going to show you the truth. Eater of worlds in the face of fear. And then he loses. And it's like, well, dude, you need to stop talking shit. Because the moment you talk shit is when you get your ass kicked. I mean, that's just how it's perceived. And, if you're a Bray Wyatt fan and you've seen this for years, it sucks. And if you're someone that's not a Bray Wyatt fan, you're sure as hell not going to be a fan of his or cheer for the guy, because he continues to lose when it counts and when it matters. Like I said, winning and losses shouldn't matter that much, but when it does matter, they have Bray Wyatt lose. And it's really frustrating. So now it's kind of perceived to me, whereas I don't have faith in WWE taking Bray Wyatt all the way. I don't have faith in WWE pushing Bray 100%, because I feel like they instead of WWE giving Bray Wyatt the hand, they're giving him the finger. They're just giving him a fingertip to hold on to, instead of entrusting him and giving him the full ball and just run with the guy, see where he can go. So I just think it sucks, and I think it's really, really bad. So you guys let me know what you think in the box below. Do yourself a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Peace out.